Hi everyone, welcome to Smriti Special. I'm Smriti Iyer and we are at the art studio. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious egg-free coconut cake. So let's get started. If you're new around here, let me catch you up. We are doing a series on my YouTube channel of how to make different flavored cakes with one base recipe. And that base recipe is my vanilla butter cake. If you have not watched that video yet, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. Now let's talk about the ingredients you need for this recipe and compare it to the base recipe. So for the dry ingredients, you're going to need all-purpose flour, and we are swapping a part of that and adding some desiccated coconut. This is going to lend a beautiful coconut flavor to the whole cake. The next thing is our milk. Now instead of regular milk, we are using coconut milk here for that amplified coconut flavor, and we are increasing the quantity of milk because the desiccated coconut absorbs more liquid and makes things dry. Then we are going to use some butter. Now the base recipe had both butter and cream cheese, but for our fat here we are only using butter. Along with this we have our baking soda and baking powder, which is not going to change because these are leavening agents. And then we have our sugar here, as well as the vanilla extract and some coconut shavings for the top. First things first, prepare your cake pan. This is a 6-inch cake pan that I'm using here. Prepare it with some butter and flour. If you want to learn how to do this properly, check out my first video of this series, which is my vanilla cake. Okay, in that I show you how to prepare your pans. You do this first so that you're absolutely ready to bake when your batter is ready. In this big bowl here with a sieve, we are going to first sieve together our all-purpose flour. Okay. To this, we are going to add our baking soda, okay, and baking powder. And then also add your desiccated coconut, but remember this is not going to go through the sieves, but we are going to add this so that everything combines together really well. Okay. Lovely. This desiccated coconut is going to give such a beautiful fragrance and flavor to this cake. It's unbelievable. So whatever you have on the sieve, just push it through and then tip it over. To my coconut milk over here, I'm going to add some vanilla extract. Now this is my homemade vanilla extract. I have a recipe for this on my YouTube channel. I'll link it for you in the description box below. Or you can use any good extract. You can also use a vanilla bean. That would be nice. Just mix it really well. Today I'm making this cake in my stand mixer. You can of course use a hand mixer if you want. So into the bowl of my stand mixer, I'm going to add my butter. Now this is some room temperature butter, or just barely softened butter, not room temperature per se, but just something that is kind of soft and something that can be squishy, okay, because that's the kind of butter which you can whip up. Then I'm adding some powdered sugar. You can use some fine caster sugar if you want. This is just some sugar that I powdered myself. Okay, we're going to beat it together until it's light and fluffy. Alright guys, so my butter and sugar mixture was whipping together for about 2 to 3 minutes. We do this so that our final cake texture is nice and fluffy. Just in between, just get in there with your spatula and give it a clean down so that every little bit combines. Okay, awesome. Now I'm going to alternate between my dry ingredients. Okay, a little bit of that. Since I'm making a small cake, I'm going to go just half of the whole thing. If you're making a big batch, divide it accordingly. Okay, and then I'm going to add half of the milk as well, milk and vanilla mixture. This is the delicious coconut milk. And then we're going to fold this at low speed. Okay guys, this just mixed together for about 30 seconds or so. I'm now going to add the rest of the flour and the coconut mixture and the rest of the coconut milk with the vanilla, and we are going to fold it again. Now we do this on a low speed so that everything gets incorporated well, but at the same time nothing gets over mixed. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. All right, that looks good. We're going to take it off of this machine and then give it a little fold by hand. Just get in there with your hand and give it 2 or 3 folds so that anything sticking to the bottom of the bowl gets combined. Now we're going to pour it into our pan. Now I'm going to put this into our prepared pan here. It's going to be a thick-ish batter, but don't worry, it's going to be such a beautiful cake. You can really smell the coconut. It's just amazing. Just leveling the cake batter. With the thicker cake batters, it's generally preferred to do some leveling so that you get an even top. Okay. Now, so beautiful. I wish you can smell this. It's smelling of beautiful coconut, like natural coconut flavor from that rich milk and the desiccated coconut that we added into our flour. Such a delight. Okay, we are going to oomph up the coconut even more by adding some of these coconut shards on top. You can add some shavings. You can add just some desiccated coconut too if you want, but the crunch of this is just so beautiful on top. You can add nuts to this, by the way, on top if you want, but I think I'm going to keep it just purely coconut. Now this is going to go in a preheated oven at 160 degrees Celsius for about 40 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. Once this gets done, I'll show you what it looks like. Now you can also make this in an 8-inch pan, as I explained in my first video, which I suggest you should watch. This has a thickness, right? This has a thickness in the pan. Now in an 8-inch pan, it won't have as much thickness. The batter thickness in the pan won't be as much, so it's going to take lesser time. But the cake in both cases are going to be delicious. In this, you'll have some height, in that you won't. So that's the only difference. My coconut cake came out of the oven at the 45-minute mark. I let it cool down just about for 5 to 10 minutes in the pan itself, and then I unmolded it and cooled down completely. And now we are finally ready to cut into this. So I am like super excited. I'm using a long serrated knife for this. Use any knife that you want, just make sure that it's nice and sharp. Okay, look how beautifully golden this is on top. Wow, look at this cake, you guys. I have a nice little piece for myself here. This has an amazing crumb, as you can see, from the coconut milk. The coconut milk basically makes the sponge very, very moist. You have to try it to know what I'm saying. And then my favorite bit is this coconut golden top. If you love coconut like me, you're gonna absolutely love this. Now I have a little piece of cake here for me to try. I might have a bias here because coconut is one of my favorite flavors, along with lemon, which I'll bring it to you very soon. So one of the things I love about this cake is that with the use of the desiccated coconut in the dry ingredients, you get this nice like coconut sort of crumbly, you know how coconut crumbles, like the inside of the coconut, the white bits. It has that same effect, but in cake. So I'll just have to do this. I'll get a little bit. As I said before, one of my favorite things about this slice is the nice golden coconut top. You have to try it. I'll have the written recipe for you guys on my website. The link for this is given in the description box below. Whenever you make this, share a picture with me on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. Don't forget to tag me so I can see your recreations. Like this video, comment on it. Your comments really help me decide what to bring you next. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more delicious recipes. I'll see you again next time. Bye.